If you're over 60 and the scale is finally going down, that can feel like victory. But if your legs feel weaker, your stairs feel heavier, your balance feels less certain, and your chair feels lower than it used to, something is wrong. The problem is not that weight loss is always bad after 60. The problem is that the scale does not tell you what you lost. It can show 5 pounds gone and stay completely silent about whether those pounds were fat, muscle, water, or useful reserve. That is the trap. After 60, losing weight the wrong way can make the body smaller but less capable. Your clothes may fit better, but getting up, walking, carrying groceries, and recovering from a normal day may become harder. That is not real progress. Real progress means less harmful fat, while the muscles, bones, balance, and energy systems stay online. Before we go deeper, one safety point matters. Unintentional weight loss, sudden appetite loss, unexplained fatigue, trouble swallowing, blood in the stool, persistent pain, fever, or rapid weakness should be checked. And if you have diabetes, kidney disease, heart failure, cancer history, frailty, osteoporosis, or take weight loss medication, do not treat weight loss as a simple math problem. The right plan may need a clinician, dietitian, or physical therapist. Now let us build the system. The first idea is simple. After 60, muscle is not extra decoration. Muscle is the engine that lets you stand from a chair, climb stairs, carry bags, keep balance, and absorb a stumble. It is also a storage tank for glucose and amino acids, and a major part of how the body handles energy. So when a diet removes muscle, it does not only change appearance, it removes function. This is why two people can lose the same number of pounds and get completely different results. One loses mostly fat and moves better. The other loses fat plus muscle and becomes lighter but weaker. The scale praises both of them. The stairs do not. If this kind of explanation helps you understand your body more clearly, subscribe to Feynman's Body Code. And if you're comfortable, write your age and country in the comments, plus whether weight loss has ever made you feel stronger or weaker. I want to see the real pattern, because the scale alone hides too much. The first hidden mechanism is sarcopenia. That means age-related loss of muscle mass and muscle function. It does not begin at 70. The slope often starts much earlier, but after 60 the consequences become harder to ignore. If you diet on top of that slope, you can accidentally speed up the loss. A calorie deficit tells the body to use stored energy that is necessary for fat loss. But if the body does not also receive a strong muscle signal, it may treat muscle as expensive tissue. Muscle costs energy to maintain. If you eat less, move less, and do no resistance work, the body has a reason to downsize it. This is the first mistake, dieting while sending no reason to keep muscle. The keep muscle signal is not just walking around the house. Walking is useful, but it does not always tell the body to preserve strength. The strongest signal is resistance. A muscle keeps itself when it must produce force. That force can come from weights, machines, bands, body weight, stairs, sit-to-stand practice, or carefully loaded carrying. The tool matters less than the message. The message is, keep this tissue because I still need it. That is why the first rule of weight loss after 60 is not eat less. The first rule is protect the muscle signal. If you lose weight without that signal, the body may become lighter in a dangerous way. You may notice it as a slower chair rise. You may notice it as a weaker grip. You may notice it as legs that feel hollow on stairs. You may notice it as more wobble when turning. Those are not cosmetic problems. Those are independence warnings. The second hidden mechanism is protein timing. Protein is not magic, but it is the building material muscle needs to repair. After 60, many people reduce calories by accidentally reducing protein first. Breakfast becomes coffee and toast. Lunch becomes a small salad. Dinner becomes the only serious protein meal. The body then spends most of the day with a weak building signal. That matters because older muscle often needs a clearer signal to build and repair. If the diet removes calories and removes protein at the same time, muscle is hit twice. Less energy comes in, and less building material comes in. Then people blame age when the real problem was the structure of the diet. A better approach is not to make every meal huge. A better approach is to make protein visible in more than one meal. Eggs, Greek yogurt, cottage cheese, fish, poultry, lean meat, tofu, beans, lentils, and protein-rich dairy can all work depending on your body and preferences. If you have kidney disease or a condition that limits protein, this must be individualized. But for many older adults trying to lose weight, the danger is not too much protein. It is losing the muscle while chasing the scale. The third hidden mechanism is speed. Fast weight loss feels exciting because the scale rewards you quickly. But fast loss can include water, glycogen, gut contents, and lean tissue. Not all of that is fat. That is why the first week of a strict diet can be misleading. The body may be lighter before it is actually healthier. After 60, the goal is usually not the fastest drop. The goal is the cleanest drop. Clean weight loss means waist, blood pressure, glucose, stamina, and daily function improve while strength does not collapse. If the scale goes down but your chair rise, walking speed, grip, sleep, mood, and energy all get worse, the plan is taking too much. That is not discipline. That is a bad trade. This is why you need more than the scale. Track the waist, track the chair, track walking energy, track grip or carrying ability. Track how you feel the next day. The scale tells you mass, function tells you quality. After 60, quality matters more than a lower number. The fourth hidden mechanism is bone. When people talk about weight loss, they usually talk about fat and muscle. But older adults also have to protect bone. Calorie restriction without resistance training and enough nutrients can be hard on bone. That matters because a lighter body is not safer if the frame becomes more fragile. Resistance training gives bone a mechanical signal. Protein, calcium, vitamin D, and overall nutrition help provide the material side. Balance training reduces the chance that a fragile moment becomes a fall. So the weight loss plan after 60 must protect 3 tissues at once. Fat should go down. Muscle should be defended. Bone should not be ignored. The fifth hidden mechanism is appetite quality. Many diets reduce food volume but increase cravings. If you remove meals that actually satisfy you, the brain starts hunting. Then weight loss becomes a fight between willpower and biology. Biology usually wins eventually. A better diet makes the calorie deficit less noisy. That usually means protein, fiber, water-rich foods, and meals you can repeat without feeling punished. Fiber from vegetables, beans, lentils, fruit, and whole grains can slow eating and help fullness. Protein helps the meal last longer. Strength training tells the body what tissue to protect. Walking helps energy use and cardiometabolic health. Sleep helps appetite regulation and recovery. These pieces work together. The mistake is trying to solve everything with smaller portions alone. Smaller portions can help, but if the meal loses protein and fiber, hunger gets louder. If hunger gets too loud, consistency breaks. And if consistency breaks, people swing between strict dieting and giving up. That cycle is exhausting. There is one more piece people miss. The body listens to contrast. If every day is just a little less food and a little more fatigue, the message is unclear. But if the muscles regularly meet a clear challenge, the message becomes sharper. A chair rise says, keep the thighs. A step up says, keep the hips and calves. A row says, keep the back and grip. A loaded carry says, keep the trunk and shoulders organized. A slow lowering movement says, keep control on the way down. That last detail is important. Many older adults do not only lose the ability to lift, they lose the ability to lower themselves with control. That is why sitting down becomes a drop instead of a landing. During weight loss, practice the landing. Lower into the chair slowly. Step down carefully. Place the grocery bag down without collapsing the back. Control is strength wearing a different coat. If you preserve control, you preserve dignity in daily movement. Now think about protein in the same practical way. The body does not read a nutrition label as a moral document. It reads incoming materials. Did amino acids arrive? Did energy arrive? Did minerals arrive? Did the meal help me repair from yesterday's movement? A weight loss meal after 60 should answer yes, more often than no. This is why a tiny snack can be low calorie and still be a poor strategy. It may reduce weight today while leaving tomorrow's muscle underfed. A better meal is not always larger, it is more structured. Protein, fiber, fluid, and enough energy to keep the plan repeatable. That structure makes the deficit quieter. A quiet deficit is easier to repeat, and repeatability is where fat loss actually happens. The body also cares about timing around training. If you train and then underfeed every time, recovery suffers. If you feed well but never train, the body has material but not enough reason. The useful combination is signal plus material. That is the simplest formula in this whole subject. Force tells the muscle to stay. Protein gives it material, sleep gives it time. Walking gives the system circulation and endurance. A modest deficit lets fat leave without screaming at the whole body. Remove one piece, and the plan becomes less stable. Remove two or three, and weakness becomes much more likely. This is why the same diet can work at 40 and feel terrible at 65. The older body has less room for sloppy signals. It can still change, but it asks for a smarter bargain. Less fat. Yes, less muscle. No. Less independence. Absolutely not. Now let us turn this into a cleaner plan. Step 1. Do not start with the scale. Start with function. Can you stand from a chair without pushing hard with your hands? Can you climb your usual stairs? Can you carry a normal grocery bag? Can you walk your normal route without feeling unusually drained? These are your guardrails. If they worsen while weight drops, the plan needs adjustment. Step 2. Make the calorie deficit modest. Extreme restriction may look impressive for a few weeks, but it often steals reserve. A modest deficit is less dramatic, but it gives the body a better chance to keep muscle and energy. The goal is not starvation. The goal is a controlled signal. Step 3. Put resistance training into the plan before the diet gets aggressive. 2 or more days a week is a good anchor for many older adults, adjusted to ability. This can be machines, bands, dumbbells, body weight. Sit-to-stands, wall push-ups, step-ups, or supervised exercises. The session does not need to be theatrical. It needs to ask the muscles to produce force safely. Legs, hips, back, chest, shoulders, arms, and trunk all matter, because real life uses all of them. Step 4. Keep walking, but do not use walking as an excuse to avoid strength. Walking helps the heart, vessels, blood sugar, mood, and stamina. But walking alone may not preserve enough muscle power during weight loss. Pair walking with resistance, and the signal becomes much clearer. Step 5. Distribute protein. Instead of saving most protein for dinner, give muscle-building material earlier. Think of each meal as a vote. A vote for muscle, or a vote for shrinking everything. Step 6. Protect recovery. If sleep collapses, appetite rises, training quality drops, and the body repairs worse. If hydration collapses, standing, walking, digestion, and energy can feel worse. If every day is a hard deficit, the body has no room to rebuild. So the plan should include rest, sleep, fluids, and enough nutrients to make the training useful. Step 7. Watch the warning signs. Rapid weakness is a warning. New dizziness is a warning. Repeated falls or near falls are warnings. Loss of appetite that you did not intend is a warning. Weight loss that happens without trying is a warning. Pain, breathlessness, swelling, or unusual fatigue should not be explained away as discipline. A good plan should make the body more capable, not more fragile. Now let us look at the pattern in real life. A person cuts breakfast to coffee. They eat a small lunch because the scale is finally moving. They walk more because walking feels safe, but they stop lifting, stop carrying, and stop eating enough protein. 3 weeks later, the scale looks better. But the chair feels worse. The legs feel empty. The grip feels weaker. The person feels proud and worried at the same time. This is the scale trap. The number improved, but the independence system paid for it. Here is another pattern. A person keeps protein in breakfast and lunch. They do 2 simple strength sessions each week. They walk regularly, but not as a replacement for strength. They use a modest deficit instead of a crash diet. The scale moves more slowly, but the chair stays strong, the stairs stay possible, and the waist still improves. That is a better trade. The body is not just losing mass, it is changing composition. This is the word people should care about more than weight. Weight is the total. Composition is what the total is made of. After 60, composition is the real scoreboard. The mirror can mislead you. The scale can mislead you. But function is harder to fake. If you can stand better, walk better, carry better, and recover better, the plan is probably moving in the right direction. If those get worse, the plan deserves suspicion even if the scale applauds. There is a special danger in cardio-only dieting. Cardio is not the enemy. Walking, cycling, swimming, and similar activity can be excellent. But if cardio is paired with low protein and no resistance work, the body may not hear a strong keep muscle signal. The result can be a smaller body with a weaker engine. That is why strength work belongs inside the weight loss plan, not after it. People often say, I will lose the weight first, then build strength. After 60, that order can be expensive. Build the strength signal while losing the weight. Do both carefully. The body then has less reason to throw away useful tissue. Another danger is eating too little for too long. The body can respond by lowering movement, lowering training quality, increasing fatigue, and increasing hunger. People call that a lack of discipline. Often it is poor design. A good plan should be repeatable on an ordinary Tuesday, not only on the first enthusiastic Monday. If the plan requires constant suffering, it is probably too fragile. Fragile plans do not protect older bodies well. The better question is, what can I repeat while keeping strength? That question changes everything. It changes the grocery list, it changes the exercise plan. It changes the speed of weight loss. It changes what you celebrate. You celebrate a better chair rise. You celebrate a stronger carry. You celebrate a waist change without a strength collapse. You celebrate walking farther with less heaviness. Those are adult measurements. They are less flashy than the scale, but more honest. There's also a medication point. Some people after 60 lose weight with medicines that reduce appetite. That can be helpful for some bodies under medical care. But if appetite drops so much that protein, fluids, and strength training disappear, the same muscle problem can appear. So the question is not only, am I eating less? The question is, am I still feeding the tissue I want to keep? That applies to every method. Low carb, low fat, fasting windows, smaller portions, medication, meal plans. The muscle still asks the same question. Did you give me force? Did you give me protein? Did you give me recovery? If the answer is no, the scale may move, but the body may downgrade. Now build a 1-week check. Choose one chair test. Choose one walking route. Choose one carrying task. Choose one protein habit. Choose one sleep or recovery target. Do not make the list heroic. Make it boring and repeatable. At the end of the week, ask 3 questions. Did the waist or weight move in the right direction? Did strength or daily function stay stable or improve? Did energy and recovery stay acceptable? If all 3 are yes, the plan is probably cleaner. If the scale is yes but function is no, slow down and protect muscle. If recovery is no, the body is telling you the cost is too high. This is not weakness. This is feedback. Now here's the clean model. The wrong way is scale first, muscle last, eat less, move less, lose fast, skip protein, avoid strength, celebrate the number. That can make you lighter and weaker. The right way is function first, fat loss second. Train muscle, eat enough protein, create a modest deficit, walk regularly, sleep, hydrate, and track strength. That makes the body understand what to keep. You're telling it, remove stored fat, but keep the engine. That is the phrase I would write on the board. Lose fat, keep the engine. Because after 60, the engine is what gives weight loss meaning. A lower number is not useful if it costs you stairs. It is not useful if it costs you balance. It is not useful if it costs you the ability to carry groceries. It is not useful if it makes you colder, weaker, more tired, and more afraid to move. The scale should serve your life. Your life should not serve the scale. So if you're losing weight after 60, do it this way. Protect strength first. Protect protein. Protect walking reserve. Protect bone and balance. Protect recovery. Then let the fat loss happen inside that protection. That is slower than panic dieting, but it is smarter. It keeps the body useful while the scale changes. And after 60, useful is the point. Not smaller at any cost. Stronger at a healthier weight.